Hello and welcome. Today, in this lesson, we are going to be continuing our look at Module 5, where we are looking at rational expressions. Specifically, today, we're going to look at adding and subtracting rational expressions. Okay? You should have already seen the video with multiplying and dividing rational expressions, and now we're going to do the adding and subtracting. So let's take a look here at these exercises. First one here, we are asked to calculate this sum. Okay, so we're going to add, right? 3 over 10 plus 6 over 10. Okay, now, when we add fractions together like this, key thing to keep in mind, right, is that when we're adding, we are combining like terms. So when you read this, right, you read it as 3/10. And they're going to add to that, we're going to add 6/10. So if we take 3/10, right, and we add 6/10, how many tenths do we now have? We have 9/10. So notice what really gets added together here. The numerators add together to give you the numerator for your answer. Do we add the denominators together? The answer is no. It just stays 10, right? Okay. What happens if these two numerators are not the same? What do we do then? Well, let's take a look. Number 2 will help us answer that question. So in this case, we are trying to, I'm going to rewrite it here, subtract 3/20, take away 4/15. What we cannot do is subtract these the way they're currently written. And the reason for that is because we do not have common denominators. Okay? This is like trying to, it's like comparing apples and oranges. We do not have like terms. Okay, whereas here we had like terms. So what do we do? How do we fix this? What we do is we rewrite these fractions to equivalent fractions that have the same denominator. Okay, so what do I mean by an equivalent fraction? Well, for example here, 3/20, if I multiply the top and the bottom by 2, for example, it's equal to 6 over 40. 6/40 is the same as 3/20. How do I know? We multiply by something, right? How do we know they're the same thing? Well, because what am I really multiplying by here? If I multiply by 2 over 2, what's 2 over 2 the same as? It's the same as 1. So what we're really doing there is just multiplying by 1. Daggone it. Sorry. Okay. It's really just multiplying by 1. So that doesn't change the value of this, and we end up with 6 over 40, like that. Okay? But 40 still does not compare to 15. But if we do 3 over 20 times 3 over 3, we'll get 9 over 60. And that's what we're going to do. Okay? Because we can make 15, we can multiply 15 to become 60 as well. All right? So we'll multiply this fraction here by 4 over 4, because 15 times 4 will also give us a 60 in our denominator there. Okay, so 3 times 3 will be a 9. 3 times 20 will be 60. 4 times 4, 16. 15 times 4, 60. And now, since we have the same denominator, we can subtract the numerators. And 9 take away 16 is -7. Okay, and this fraction won't simplify any further. There's no way to simplify that 7 and 60, so this is our final answer. So, in order to add or subtract fractions, you must get a common denominator. You don't have to necessarily get the least common denominator. You really just need a common denominator. But if you find the least common denominator, that is the smallest number that the 15 and the 20 both have in common, multiples of 15 and 20 have in common, it'll make the numbers a little bit smaller for you for the math. Okay, so let's stop there and we'll get into 3 and 4 in the next video.